is on display, featuring the Boston Celtics. We're in the Phillips Arena. The Hawks here in Atlanta playing before their hometown crowd. A time-honored tradition. The NBA on 2K Sports. Sunday night hoops action. Delighted to have all of you with us here tonight. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. Celtics off the tip. And now the opening lineup for Boston. Bradley and Turner filling out the perimeter. Tyler Zeller out there with David Lee. And it's Smart in at point guard. You know what? Great D that time from T.
Man, guys, you hear about how the Hawks are the jokingly referred to as the Spurs of the East. It has to do with their coach, Mike Budenholzer, who's really brought that philosophy here to Atlanta. Always nice to get the first lead of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you there because to me it's just much more comforting to play from the front than to be battling from behind.
Now here's Bradley. T kicks to Horford. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. Horford's got his first points of the game.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
And Greg, that's just good basketball. Come on, good basketball there. Clean look from that range. He's got to take it.
And for Coach Budenholzer, Greg, he did spend 19 years with the Spurs, so it makes a lot of sense. He won 4 titles during his time there in San Antonio.
And Kevin, you can really see how he's adapted and brought the motion offense over to this team. And it worked well for the Hawks.
Certainly the biggest surprise last year, Clark, was the play of the Atlanta Hawks. You would have picked them to win the East at the start of the season.
Well, they did it, and they earned it. The Hawks didn't have any superstars on their roster, but they won with solid team play.
And guys, I was a bit worried, but now we all know the rim doesn't have a lid on it.
Yeah, you could actually feel the tightness and tenseness with each miss. I'm actually glad to see they got that first one out of the way.
Here's T, following the score by Avery Bradley. And that one's good.
And for the Hawks, they did end up with 4 All-Stars last season. As you said, it was all about how they worked together as a team.
Now here's Bradley. Step back shot. Horford against Lee. Hit his foot. And it's being called a kickball. Atlanta making some changes. Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Splitter. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff T. .43 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Feeds it to Olynyk. The Celtics working the ball around now. Thomas goes in. 4 on the clock. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And you know, around the NBA, the league recognized the Hawks were a complete team. Everybody played their role superbly. The NBA named all 5 of their starters the player of the week last year in an unprecedented move.
Horford. And again, it's Atlanta.
And it's already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this league.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
Sullinger the screen. Thomas passes to Crowder. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Crowder's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Schroeder can't get it to go. And that does it for the first quarter. Hawks on top, up 4. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. second quarter just getting set to start. Well, from what you guys are seeing from the Hawks, what are you thinking about their performance?
How good has the ball movement been here? Just absolutely terrific.
Boy, that kind of timely passing, Greg, really fun to watch.
The Hawks leading by 4. It was a tough battle down the stretch, but the Celtics were able to get back into the playoffs last year.
And kind of just hovering around all season. But give them credit. They fought their way in and spent only 1 year out of the postseason in their rebuild.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jay Crowder out there with Yarebko, and it's Sullinger in at the 5. Now here's Crowder, lock at 6. Boston needs to get off a shot, and another basket for Boston.
You know, for the Celtics, the actual playoff series didn't go well. They got swept by the Cavaliers, but most people will remember the injuries from the series more than the play, and the Celtics have a bright future, no doubt.
Here's Schroeder after the basket by Boston. Hit by Horford. Schroeder kicks to Horford. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, listen, it was a forgettable series for Celtics fans. However, the Celtics' young core were able to experience postseason basketball. That's something that you can really never replicate. I'm sure they'll be hungry for more of it, and credit Brad Stevens on a terrific job.
And the one thing Tiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles, he knows where he's supposed to be, he gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
So he gets them both.
And for Tiago Splitter, he's been a relatively unsung player in his career, never getting his number called on offense, receiving little recognition from the media, but providing tough defense in the post. He shot over 55%, crashes the boards in the 20 minutes or so a game that he gets. So it's been good enough to really establish a productive career.
Smart's checked in for Isaiah Thomas.
You know, getting back to Splitter, yes, you need superstars to win in this league, but you also need guys like him, guys who put the team first, will bust the gut to carry out their responsibilities on the floor, off the court, and in the locker room. You need all of that to be a championship team.
Here's Bazemore. Kicks to Horford. From 8, and he hits the jump shot. Horford's got 6. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Now here's Smart. Defense right on him. Lee, a screen on T. Here's Smart.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Shoot 2.
Marcus Smart was drafted to the Celtics as their future point guard. He came in with a lot of work to do and a skill set that people really liked. But his first season, Clark, was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. He was an off guard in high school and in his first year of college as well. Really only played full-time at the point the year before he was drafted.
And so, Smart nails both of them. The Hawks leading. Bazemore dishes to T. Millsap kicks to T. Back to Millsap. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
And for Smart, though, he still has a lot of work to do on his ball handling and passing. His shooting, I think, exceeded some people's expectations. 37% from the field last year was subpar, but his 34% accuracy from three was solid. He finally started going straight up on his jumper instead of leaning in, and his release looked money.
And that one falls for Millsap.
You know, you talk about Smart's lackluster field goal percentage. Once he gets more comfortable with his ball handling and adjusts to the length in the NBA, I think he'll convert more at the basket. That'll also create more drive and dish chances for him as well.
For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Here's Teague. And Boston with the rebound.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now here's Lee. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Rejected by Millsap. 5 on the clock. Bradley passes to Zeller. It's rebounded by Paul Millsap.
This is not the slam dunk contest. You don't get do-over. You got to finish the job.
Now here's Teague. Count it from 12. Teague's got his second basket.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Hawks lead by 4. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, this has been a good game here after one half. Everybody, welcome back to the halftime show. Ernie Johnson. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. Some nice stretches of basketball from them, and at one point, they pushed the lead up to 7. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output for both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position at the half. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
You know what jumps out at me? Their efficiency on the offensive end. They shared the basketball. Good shot selection. They showed a lot of patience, and that patience will be tested the rest of the way.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on Boston?
Their defense is getting flat out embarrassed. Embarrassed, however you say it, Ernie. I realized they had to deal with a team who was red hot most of the first half, but that's an excuse. You know what? They got to be aggressive. They got to step up on that D. They got to prevent that. They need more effort, Ernie.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Al Horford with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
by 4.
You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle groups.
Teague and Korver are the guards. Horford is out there with Splitter, and it's Millsap in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. That is good. And it's 8 points for Al Horford.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Now here's Bradley. Back to Zeller. Here's Turner. Pocket 4. Smart, wide open. He fires. And he gets it to go from the corner. Well, last season, the Hawks not only had a great year on the floor, as they were the top seed in the Eastern Conference, but they had a pretty good day at the bank, too. They sold for a nice price. Looks like the team is going to stay in Atlanta, where it belongs.
Yeah, and that's great news for Atlanta. And they were rewarded with a terrific season. A group, including Grant Hill, purchased the Hawks, and obviously will keep that group in Atlanta for many years to come.
Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
Now, here's Teague after the miss from Evan Turner. Teague kicks to Horford. Dishes it to Splitter. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Horford attacking, no luck. Good D by Lee.
Jeff Teague, a real speed merchant. I mean, very tough to stay in front of. He can put you on skates, blow by, and get right to the rim.
Now here's Bradley. Back to Zeller from 12 feet out. Horford with the rebound. The Hawks leading by 6. Now Teague outside for Millsap. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 6 assists now in the game.
Guys, Jeff Teague, an attack guard. He's just an average three-point shooter, but he gets to the free throw line in bunches, shoots at a high percentage, and has really revolved, I think, into one of the elite point guards in the league.
Now here's Teague after the miss from Evan Turner. Outside Teague. It's blocked.
And this should be the last possession of the quarter.
Exactly. I'm right with you there, Greg. I mean, no need to give the ball back before the end of the quarter. Make sure you get the last shot here.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
No good on that last second attempt there. The third quarter comes to a close. It's Atlanta up by 7. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway.
Check it out.
Quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Celtics trail by 7. A moment now to reset the lineups. Brought to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. On the court for the Celtics, the big men are Solinger and Olynyk. Thomas is out there with Jay Crowder. And it's Jerebko in at the small forward. And so it's Atlanta with it, following the bucket by the Celtics. Hardaway kicks it over to Schroeder. Inside, Olynyk with the steal. He dishes it to Crowder. To the right side. Here's Jerebko, guarded by Horford. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Sullinger with the bucket.
Big shot. As soon as he got an opening, boy, did he let it fly.
We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. That's a Hardaway. Fires for 3. Rebounded by the Celtics. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing.
Guys, we call that the zone because that's where they are right now. They are in a zone, and I'm sure they feel unstoppable. Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Celtics trail by 3. There's a screen. Here's Thomas. The dish to Olynyk. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas.
And the defense we've seen today reminds me of that great defensive era back in the 80s. Wouldn't you say so, Clark?
Well, hold up now, Rick. Wait a minute. I know you played in the 90s and you were part of the Knicks teams that were known for defense, mugging guys. There was defense played in the 80s, but it was a more free-flowing offensive game, and that's the way I choose to look at what we're seeing now. This is a beautiful game on display between the lines.
Atlanta calls timeout. They're in front by 1. 1:09 left in the game. Sideline with Doris Burke.
I was able to listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team. He's looking for whatever they have left in the tank. He said, I know it's been a hard-fought game, but now's not the time to leave anything in reserve. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I expect you to be going all out, full speed. Guys?
Atlanta with the ball. Looking to get on the board here in the 4th still. Teague against Thomas. Teague kicks to Horford. Sinks it.
Now Horford clearly has the touch right now.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. They're down by 3. 55 seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. to bring them within one.
Boy, what a pressure bucket that was.
Greg, now that's coming through in the clutch.
T dishes to Korver. Millsap with screen on Bradley. The pass to Horford. 6 to shoot. That one off the back iron and out. And the Celtics with possession here. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points.
And they had a foul to give, but you want to use it on the ground.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but at least they did get the clock stopped. That is the one saving grace of that situation.
got the opportunity to get to the line and take the lead, you have got to convert.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're behind by 1. 23 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know what? Enough time that they can run whatever play they're most comfortable with.
Definitely. I mean, they're in good shape here, in my opinion. Shot clock's off. There's still enough time left on the game clock to really run your normal set here.
Here's T. Pass to Millsap. He kicks to Horford from 11 feet away.
Kevin, that was so clutch. Now they really need a defensive stand.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're losing by 1. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
You know what? Enough time that they can run whatever play they're most comfortable with.
Definitely. I mean, they're in good shape here, in my opinion. Shot clock's off. There's still enough time left on the game clock to really run your normal set here.
We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth. And here is Thomas. Oh, the all-or-nothing shot. No good. And so it's the Hawks who come out on top. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
Tremendous work all the way down to the wire. We were just wondering what would happen next. Major drama. And we saw good.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Paul, congratulations on this win. It seemed like this game was getting away from you at points. What does the team take away from this game in terms of experience?
You know, we got to do a better job of executing down the stretch. You know, as simple as that. This is glad we got this win. We just can't let these things happen in the future.
An escape from some mistakes, Paul. Well done, guys.
Doris, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, Clark Kellogg, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan player, Paul Millsap. He delivered quite a star performance. Not uncommon, as we've seen him have this sort of terrific night many times.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.